We're going to take the light bars off the lower cowl. We're going to make the one-piece cowl fin. What I'd like to do, Diego, is the traditional style cowl panel we install. I'd like to wrap it around the back. Now, although we say mufflers, what we're going to do is something a little bit different. We're going to put a picket elbow on the muffler, as well as a 7-inch stack. So, what we're going to do is we want to wrap the cowl skirt around the back and bring it up. This way it goes on the back of the chair. Yes. Yes. Everything is going to be painted there. And ultimately what we're going to do is, because the truck is basically going to be like a two-tone, I'm actually going to follow this line around. Alright? And a 7-inch minor cut stack. Now, 7-inch minor cut stack, that clamp might not be good. What we might have to do is change these clamps, or reverse this so they grab the pipe a little bit lower. Once we get, now as far as the engine, motor trans, the truck went on inside. However, he shut the truck down pretty quick. What we want to do is we want to drop the oil pan. Let's just check his main bearings. If his main bearings are scored at all, we're going to wind up replacing it. In either case, let's put fresh oil in it. I got an oil pan gasket. Let's change the filter, and we have pressure test on the radiator. Everything seems to be good. I want to check in line, make sure the radiator stay rods, everything's lined up. Suck down the system, give him a fresh charge of Freon. I know it needs a fan clutch, and I know it needs a fan, I know it needs a shroud. So those three things we're going to be doing. Other than that, underneath the hood, the only thing I see is that the frame made contact with the alternator bracket. What we want to do is we want to just make sure his motor mount isolators are still in decent shape. Let's check his bell housing, make sure that there's obviously nothing wrong with his bell housing. Check his PTO, all the engine mounts. Just give the driveline a once-over. As far as this goes, we have this on the estimate to replace the heater hose, repair the bracket, and obviously we got a new air cooler pipe, air cleaner pipe I should say, as well as a washer fluid reservoir. So that's going to have to get done. Set up and measure the frame. The truck might need a pull. We'll see obviously when that comes. Check his front end. I can see his clamps are off the suspension. I did order new U-bolts just to be safe. We'll replace the U-bolts and nuts and give it an eyeball, Bill. You know, measure the suspension, make sure the suspension's on the money. It'll go for a wheel alignment, obviously, after we're done with all the structural work. Two component battery boxes that we want to make for the right and left sides. We'll pull the covers off, we'll put the fresh stainless covers on. I'm going to put billet step plates on top of the cover. So when you look at this, you'll have the drop-down skirt, painted tank, wide straps on the tank, with a stainless box, one-piece box, billet step covers. It'll be a nice look. What we want to do is we want to just put a nice fuel tank cover. This way we have a red tank, stainless cover, stainless step covers, high polished bracket. It'll look clean. Obviously, both tanks. Now, anywhere that you see electrolysis on the frame while we're going around, if you might need to knock something off, by all means pull it off. Okay? We're going to do a recessed box jet. We might actually do a low-profile airline box because he needs a pogo stick. The truck's got to be practical for him to be able to hook up to and obviously work with it. So, yeah, absolutely. Good, right? Okay. So, I want to extend this fifth wheel plate past the edge of the fifth wheel. So I want this fifth wheel plate to actually come a little further. Okay, what we want to do is we want to actually put a nice stainless steel hinge with a rear deck that can ultimately open. Okay, what we will ultimately do is we'll take the shock towers, we'll put two nice pistons on it where we can actually lock it here. It'll lift. We'll obviously going to do our rear light bar so we'll do it straight. So we'll be able to make the deck clear where it seams up against it. Okay? Although Rick doesn't know it yet, which he will soon enough, we're going to take the rear cross member off, this rear light panel off, to make it a nice clean light panel. I want to take these fenders and brackets off. We want to close the holes. Get these holes, get this off, get it closed. Get this off, get it closed. I want to clean up the back of the frame a little bit is what I want to do. ultimately what I want to do is I want to put a smooth fender, stainless smooth fender on it, but I want the bracket system to basically be like a component bracket. I want to inside mount the bracket in the frame, and I want to basically bolt the fender in from the bottom. Now, I want the fender to be bolted in from the bottom with mud flaps. What I want to do is I want to make it so the mud flaps at both is what's actually bolted the fender on with a nice heavy stainless plate on the outside of it. So, essentially, when you look at these fenders, you're really not going to see any pulse. The only place that we have a little bit of an issue is the center, which we know to be deep. So, that being said, if you have the 2 carriage bolts or 3 carriage bolts in the center in stainless, those will be the only bolts that are visible, with the exception of the mud brackets. Now, that center bracket that we put, what I want to do is we have stainless. We're going to get these new, we're going to mount them on the center brackets. In which case now we'll be able to service the fender without having to disconnect any electric. Okay? I want to get those brackets mounted where we know what holes we have, we can decide where we have the holes we have to start the brackets up to the base down. Now, as far as the fabrication work, both of those are fabrication. Obviously, everything else is pretty much new now. As far as the wheels are concerned, that's a Dora right rim, no replacement. As far as these rings are concerned, coming off, you know, they get replaced. That'll be huge, that's something good. Yeah. You know, the other thing, what I want to do, I want to check his rear suspension, if it's in play or in cracks in the blocks. I want to do that. His rear torque arms, you know, I don't know when the last time you replaced them, but in my case, you know, 3 torque arms. Rear end will come tight. Even as far as the actual new joints, I want to check all the new joints, you know, make sure there's no play and everything. That would be no problem. This guy's not around the corner, I want to make sure it's not that. Anyway, so this stage of the game, we'll start tearing down the truck. We're going to make sure the truck is sitting square. We're going to make sure that we go through the frame. We're going to make sure that we go through the complete drag line. Inspect any of his wear items. We are going to make sure that mechanically this truck is 100% sound before it leaves our chassis bay. Once we go through the structural end of the truck and making sure everything is lined up and mechanically sound, at that point it'll go into our fabrication and also our sandblasting area to get prepped for its paintwork. And you know, you guys will witness it firsthand.